a big cultural impact, right? And so I was saying, to Brittany, there's these different places that are around Notting Hill that are like they were locations, famous locations from the movie that people you can see people like gathered around to take pictures of the locations. So it's really cool that the movie has had such a cultural impact on people that it's everybody comes to Notting Hill because they know the movie. But Liz was explaining to me that back in the day, this was like in the 70s, this was like a little hippie neighborhood, and the streets were filled with these antique markets and thrift stores and all that kind of stuff.
The
And the
second
markets are still
bookstore. Did
what,
you see
mommy?
the bookstore?
We sure did, sure
Oh,
did.
oh,
I'll see if I can take a picture next time I'm around.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Love that.
I will. Okay, let's go ahead and begin. So, good morning to everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever in the world you are. I am, if you're just joining the conversation, I'm in London, currently in Notting Hill, in the Notting Hill neighborhood, where the famous movie with Hugh Grant and Julia Roberts took place. And last night, actually, what I wanted to speak about is that last night I went to go see the musical about Tina Turner's life here in the West End, called Tina, and it was absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. If you have the chance to catch it on tour or anywhere, please do. And I've always been a huge fan of Tina Turner since I was a kid, and so she's always had a very dear spot in my heart. But every single time I hear her story, every single time I hear her story, I am so incredibly inspired by the strength and by the perseverance and the sheer will of her connection to the creator. Through everything that she went through, just a reminder if you don't know, everything she went through when she was in a horrifically domestically abusive relationship with Ike Turner, beating her to a pulp, really horrific. As she started to find her resilience, she found Buddhism. And Buddhism became the place for her. It became the spiritual respite for her. That she always said that she could actually dive deep into herself and escape the chaos. And so throughout the show, we interweaves those moments in her life where she turned to her spirituality and she turned to her core. And just if you don't know the story, she goes through a tumultuous, 20 years of being in this relationship and having a limited amount of success. And then she finally was able to break free from him and can't get a job basically because she's now in her 40s and what have you. She couldn't really find work and she could basically just perform in Vegas and that was it. And she managed to find the courage to write her own music or start her own recording career. And her second career in the 80s started in the 80s, and it ended up being the most successful act of her life, even more so than her days with Ike and Tina. And she defied all the odds, being a Black woman in a time when a Black woman in her 40s, with nothing, with two kids that she's taking care of, to go through what she went through, to overcome what she overcame, and to triumph and to leave the mark on this world that she did. I was so incredibly inspired by her beautiful story. And I just wanted to share it with all of us because, even though we look outside of us and we say, oh my God, these stories are so extreme, right? Somebody going through domestic abuse or any of those horrible things. And maybe some of you have also endured some of those things as well. It's the reminder that there is triumph, right? That no matter that we don't have to be defined by our past, right? We can create a different future, create a different future entirely simply by tapping into and dive, like Tina said, like diving down into her soul with her spirituality, with her connection to whatever that connection is to you. Maybe it's here, maybe you have the opportunity, or we all have the opportunity to find that inner strength within us every single day to leave the past behind and to create a different future. And so I hope that takes a little bit. I hope that we channel a little bit of Tina today and may she rest in peace and overcome everything, defy the odds, Okay, so let's go ahead and begin the meditation. I'm going to turn the camera off because I'm on the street and I don't want to have my phone out on me. Okay, so let's go ahead and begin the meditation. And as we do so, let's close our eyes. Let's close our eyes and find ourselves in our heart. And from this beautiful space in our heart, let's just begin by taking 3 deep breaths. In through the nose, and out through the mouth. In through the nose, and out through the nose. In through the nose, and out through the mouth. And now let's shift our awareness to the center of the earth. And from this space in the center of the earth, let's imagine this energy swirling around in the center of the earth. Imagine this energy scooping up by earth energy, coming up through the soles of our feet, through our ankles, our calves, our knees, and our thighs, and traveling up through all of our chakras, and popping up outside the top of our head in front of a beautiful ball of light. Now see yourself in this ball of light. And imagine this ball of light traveling up into the space that you're in, higher and higher and higher, and faster and faster and faster. Imagine that ball of light lifting you up, out past Earth's atmosphere, out into outer space, through different planets and galaxies in the Milky Way, and higher and higher and higher beyond there, out into different layers of light, some light and some dark, and through those layers into a beautiful golden-like light, the golden-like light into a jelly-like substance light, and through the jelly-like substance light into a beautiful pink haze, which is the law of compassion. Through the law of compassion, pull your light up, pull your ball of light up to the law of compassion and into the 7th plane of all that is, the plane of creation, oneness, and of complete totality. And immediately your ball of light dissolves into this beautiful energy. You feel the connection and the collaboration of all things, all the atoms and molecules of existence, gifting to you. From here, we will tap into the quantum field and ask for some downloads from the group. As a reminder, all you have to do is say yes to receive them. Would you like to know what it feels like to know how to, when to, where to, and that you're worthy of leaving the past behind? Would you like to know what it feels like to cut the cords to the past? To not be defined by the past? Would you like to know that you're worthy of creating a different future for yourself, for your life? Would you like to know what it feels like to know that at any time, at any given time that you choose, you can reinvent yourself? Would you like to know what it feels like to reinvent yourself? To be bold, to be brave, to have the courage to reinvent yourself. If you like that, say yes. Would you like to know what it feels like to praise yourself? To lift yourself up, to give yourself a little bit of a pat on the back for everything that you are, everything that you've been, everything that you've been through. Just say, congratulations. You are awesome. Would you like to know what it feels like to acknowledge and then let go? Acknowledge, be grateful, and then let go. Oftentimes we wear all of those things that we've been through like a badge, right? We define ourselves based on those challenges or those things that we have endured or been through. But what if we didn't? Because when we do that, we're holding on to the resentments and the rejections and all of that other crap. We don't move forward. So would you like to learn? And would you like to know that you have learned all the lessons from the past? That you've learned all the lessons from all those things that you've been through, and that you don't need to keep repeating the same lessons based upon acknowledging and reminding yourself of the lessons that you've learned. So everything that doesn't allow that times a gazillion can be destroyed and created. Would you like to know what it feels like to know that this moment here and now is the prime of your life? This moment. Not a moment in the past, not your 30s, your 20s, your teens. This moment is your prime. Whatever that means to you. So would you like to know what it feels like, looks like, tastes like, smells like, and is? To acknowledge you currently in the prime of your life. Would you like to know what that feels like to be in the prime of your life? Maybe you've never felt that way before. Maybe you've never felt like you've been in your prime. It also feels like if we say the prime of our lives, it feels like something that is never present, right? It's in the past. So what would it take for us to remember that the present is the gift of which we create the future? So would you like to know what it feels like to be present? Would you like to know what it feels like to dream again? To dream as you dreamed when you were a child, when you were a youngster. Do you remember what you dreamed of? Did you dream of being a nurse or a doctor or a lawyer? Or maybe you dreamed of traveling to space. Maybe you dreamed of being a rock star. What did you dream of? To know that you can still tap into those realities, right? Those dreams are so valuable to us as they give us a glimpse into our own imagination and our own infinite possibilities. I've been doing this really amazing class about quantum jumping, jumping into different realities. It's quite exciting. I will share a lot more of that with you guys later. So let's actually switch our awareness over to those who require healing today. So can we please send healing? When we're sending a healing, all we're doing is imagining them surrounded in the Creator's love and in the Creator's light. So can we please send unconditional healing and light to Liberaso, and also to Stephanie, and to Hector, and Dolly. And let's also please send healing to Tom and Judy. Let's send healing and light to Grace. And let's send healing to Martha. And also to Gary. And last but not least, would you guys like to know that you are unconditional love? That you be unconditional loved. And the unconditional love is your birthright. If you'd like that, say yes. So now let's take our palms and rub our palms together. Place your palms over your eyes. Your eyes are the windows to your soul.
Yes, yeah, okay, I am.
And when you're ready, you can open up your eyes. Allow this energy to come into your body, into your being. And happy Sunday, everyone. Have a beautiful day. I love the energy here today. It's so intimate. I love you all. Have a wonderful day and have way too much fun. And I'll see you same time, same place tomorrow.